We are going to get you started right now with the UAW's latest strike target, which is GM's Arlington, Texas plant, and that makes the Tahoe and the Escalade. So the union is really hitting the automakers where it hurts the most. They are the most profitable plants that make the SUVs. It is day 41 of the strike right now. And joining me is Rod Maloney, who has been following this the whole way through. Rod, I mean, we had been watching and waiting. The threat was that Arlington would go down, and Fane made that announcement yesterday. What is the fallout now 24 hours later?
Well, the fallout is that General Motors is likely to lose a lot more money. They announced in the third quarter they lost $800 million, about $200 million a week. And if this persists for much longer, the losses in the fourth quarter for GM will be significant. And so they're at the bargaining table, we're told, that when on Monday, when Sterling Heights Assembly went down, the UAW, I am told by a source close to the negotiations, was able to get Stellantis to come in and start talking and seeing if they can get moved. They even stayed late as a way to try and move that along. Then going ahead and taking Arlington down is designed essentially to do the same thing with General Motors. I've not been told where GM stands with that right now, but the belief is that there needs to be more ground brought to the fore, at least more movement to the fore, in order to be able to get this done. One of the things, as we step back and look at all of this, one of the things that appears fairly obvious here is that this notion of pitting the three companies against each other simultaneously and then again against themselves appears to have move things along, no doubt. It's brought a response from the car companies I don't think they expected to have to deliver on. But it's also sort of prolonging these talks because they become less efficient. Because in order to get Shawn Fain and his main team to go and talk to differing car companies, they only get one or two bites at the apple a week because they all need to be able to speak with each other. And so as it stands right now, part of the reason why this thing's dragging out is for that very reason.
You know, Rod, you talked about the earnings for GM, their third quarter earnings. You talked about the $800 million loss since the strike, but I'm sure that the UAW is looking at the $3.1 billion gain that they had as well. Now, Ford is going to come out with their third quarter earnings as well. And what are you anticipating, I guess, what could the next target be for Ford, since we've heard a lot of back and forth between Fane and then Bill Ford Jr. and Jim Farley?
Well, one thing that we've figured out in all of this is that there's no way to know what Shawn Fain is going to do. Taking down the Kentucky truck plant was a real eye-opener, and that was really painful for Ford. Whether he feels that Ford needs to come to the table with more, I mean, they've said essentially they put all they can on the table and claim to have the best offer out there. And so it's looking like that the UAW needs or wants Stellantis and GM to come along, much like Ford. So will they do something as drastic as take down the Dearborn assembly plant where they make the F-150 in large measure? Will they take down, say, the Kansas City assembly plant where they make the F-150? Those are questions that are certainly up in the air. A lot of people are speculating. I've been getting phone calls from people saying that you might expect that to happen in the next few days.
All right, Rod Maloney reporting live for us. Appreciate your perspective, Rod, and we'll check back in with you a little later on today. It's good to see you.